starts with us. The party starts with us.
Well, filmmakers and visitors from all over the world come to Houston to celebrate Indian art, culture, and filmmaking at this annual event.
It's the 11th year. Here with a preview of this year's Indian Film Festival of Houston, actor Iqbal Khan and the event's founder, Sutapa Ghosh. Welcome to the show. Great to see you both.
Thank you.
And it's hard to believe this is the 11th year. Remind us, Sutapa, how did this festival begin here in Houston, which is so diverse, as we all know?
Right. In 2009, we started with her only, the first person to interview us. You know, I produced movies, so it was always in my mind, and I was the founding festival board member at the Los Angeles Film Festival. But we were not ready at that time in 2004-05 when I started. So when the Slumdog Millionaire happened, I thought that's the right time to take this to a different, you know,
the stars had aligned, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And how do people get to the festival as far as the films? I mean, this is an application process, correct?
Right. This is an official competitive film festival. So every year we have more than 100 submissions, and then we have to choose few. So we have 3 programmers, one in Mumbai, one in Hollywood, and I'm here. And we 3 go through it. It's a very tedious job. Every year we feel like we're going to have a spondylosis or something. But, you know, we all love watching, you know, movies, and we grade them, and that's how it's selected.
And Iqbal, let's talk about your career a little bit, because you're born in India. I understand you moved to Mumbai to pursue a career in film.
That's
and
right.
You've had a lot of different roles, TV and film.
Yes. In fact, I started with films, and I did a long stint with television. And now, since the web has become pretty huge, so there are web series, and there's Netflix, there's Amazon, there's so many other OTTs. So there's a lot of work happening.
And let's talk about the short film that you're in that's being featured at the festival this year.
Yes. So I've been a part of the festival since this is my 11th year.
Oh, since the beginning?
Yes.
Yeah.
So finally this is the first time that my this short film is getting featured.
Selected.
Yeah.
Congratulations. That's great.
Yeah.
And we're seeing some scenes from the film. Just briefly describe the synopsis for us.
So basically, it's a short directed by a very talented writer who wants to become a director, and I think he's done a fairly good job. His name is Manish Tiwari, and the name of the film is Dhut. Dhut is basically, there's no direct translation to it. It's something like intoxicated or possessed. So it's something about karma. So it's about this guy who has done a lot of wrong things in the past, and how he meets his friends, and then how the past comes back to him. Howding.
Very cool. And this film screens Friday at 6:45 p.m., correct?
Correct. Correct.
And it's a few days, right? So people have the opportunity to go and see back-to-back films. Describe how the festival itself works logistically.
It's 4th and 5th of October, which is the Friday and Saturday. We have a very famous jazz musician, Tom Braxton, playing on the opening night. And then the Saturday, the Muda Farukas. So it is not only screenings back-to-back, but we have food, we have entertainment, and then after the screenings, we have the QAs with the directors and actors. So yeah, it's a 5 to 10, a full event. Very, very enjoyable, you know. Not just watching movies.
Well, and the Q&A, sorry.
Yeah,
to
no,
jump
I was
in.
just going to say that about the
Go for
Q&A.
it.
Yeah, because it's so important, I think, for us to be able to connect with the actors, the producers, because, and clearly there's a need for this type of festival here. It's in its 11th year, and for you to come into Houston and to be able to communicate with aspiring actors and aspiring producers, I mean, that you must get something out of that as well.
I think you always learn. For me, every visit has been a learning process for me. It's been wonderful. I meet a lot of good people and amazing human beings, mostly. So I always go back happy.
It's like a small community, too. I love, too, that India is finally having this moment, because
Absolutely.
obviously people think of Hollywood as being the center of the film universe, but Bollywood really has brought to the table so much great talent.
Yep.
And within the film world in India, you're a pretty huge star, right?
You're
I mean,
a big
this
deal.
is the crossover. It's like the world is getting smaller and smaller, right? And sharing film is one of those ways to bridge that gap.
He's very humble, you know. He's not like a typical actor who really talks about themselves, publicized, but he is big, and he has a huge fan following, especially women. And
Yeah, I wonder why.
Let's talk about a few more of the films that we can expect to see during the festival, starting with Buried Seeds.
Oh yeah, it's my favorite. It's an amazing journey of this Michelin star, chef Vikas Khanna. How it's so appropriate for this time because he came as an immigrant. He lived on in shelter, lived on soup kitchen, and really struggled his way. Now he's like a multimillionaire, did so well, but he's still very individually very humble person, and he's very deep rooted. He's missing the screening. He was supposed to be because he's opening his next restaurant in a 7-star hotel in Dubai.
Yeah, I mean, he's a Michelin star restaurant owner.
Yeah.
That's a big deal to really go through his life.
But he has a very humble background, and as a human being, he's very humble. He's close to Dalai Lama and all, and he has cooked for everybody in the world, like who's and who. But still we have become very, good friends, and he's a very nice guy.
We're tight on time, but talk to us briefly about this documentary about an endangered breed of ponies. That sounds interesting.
Oh yeah, it's amazing. People don't know how, polo is invented and it started, especially the women polo in the northeastern part of India. This is an amazing story of this group of sisters, who still continues, but the main thing is polo is such a big thing in India, especially women polo. People had no idea. So now Houston Polo Club actually traveled to India and they participated. So they are actually participating in our festival too. And now the eyes are opening that India is the actually starting point for the polos.
Oh no, very interesting.
I know. We do have a link to connect with the Indian Film Festival of Houston on our website. You can see all of the event details. By the way, KPRC Channel 2 is a proud media sponsor of this event.
Iqbal Khan, Sutapa Ghosh, thank you so much for stopping by. Best of luck with the festival.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Soon.
Thank you.
Sure.